Hey everyone!
Hola a todos!
This is Jahaira.
And this is Stephanie, and welcome to Cuento Crimen podcast.
Y aquí on the Cuento Crimen podcast, we are a true crime podcast and we bring a new case every Wednesday.
Cada miércoles.
And these are cases that don't get much media attention, so chances are you haven't heard of some of these cases.
And we cover these cases in Spanglish.
Así que agarra a tu abuelita, tu abuelito, tu mamá, tu papá, a quien tú gustes, and come join us every Wednesday for a new true crime case. So, como dijimos en el intro, este caso, it like definitely lingered in my head for days. And I remember I was talking to my coworkers about it because I was just sitting there like thinking like, how does someone do this? But anyways, let's start at the beginning. So, Savanna tenía 22 años and she was living in Fargo, North Dakota with her parents.
Ellos vivían en un basement apartment. This will make more sense later in the episode. But yeah, Savanna had a lot of plans for the future. She was planning on going into elder care, y también she was planning on moving in with her boyfriend.
Her boyfriend's name was Ashton Matheny, y ellos ya tenían 7 años juntos, and they were now actually expecting their first daughter.
So at this point, Savanna tenía 8 meses de embarazo y ella estaba esperando a una niña.
And from what we heard and read, los dos estaban muy emocionados de empezar esta nueva etapa de papás.
I can only imagine like having your first child is a life-changing event for sure. Like I've seen it, you know, and you became a first mom and
oh my God.
My brother became a dad too, you know, so definitely life-changing. And
you had babies back to back.
Yeah, this year in 2022.
I love
that. After not being around babies, like, yeah, it's nice to finally have babies around. But yeah, like it's life-changing and like you see it like as soon as you find out, right? Like as soon as you found out, your life changed.
I was like, oh my gosh.
So yeah, so this is what was happening in Savanna's life. Like she was so excited. She was really ready for it. I mean, she's been with her partner for, you know, a couple years.
Yeah.
And so they were excited and they were expecting their little baby girl. But unfortunately, those plans changed on August of 2017.
So let's go back to the comment that we quickly just said, how Savanna and her parents lived in a basement apartment, right? Entonces, basically, it just means que era apartamentos de arriba y de abajo. Entonces, ellos vivían abajo y otra familia vivía arriba. Y esta familia era una pareja that were about in their mid-40s, and they were Brooke Cruz and her boyfriend, William Hohen.
Y Savanna y ellos no eran muy cercanos. I mean, they were just kind of like neighbors and, you know, they will like greet each other and things like that. Small talk type of thing. But they weren't like those neighbors that would invite each other over for like dinner and things like that. No.
Yeah, pues nothing out of the ordinary, pues, you know. Pero en un día de agosto, Brooke came downstairs and knocked on their door and she asked for Savanna. Y Brooke le dice a Savanna que ella está cosiendo un vestido y que necesitaba medirle el vestido.
And we're not too sure if this dress was meant for Savanna or maybe just she asked her to like fix up her maternity dress. Like we don't know the details. And so Savanna was like, sure, yeah, like go ahead. And after all, like this is her neighbor. She's only going to try on a dress, you know?
And she's just upstairs. And yeah, whether she was trying on the dress or whether she was modeling the dress, because I think we heard both stories, but ella nomás iba a ir arriba a ponerse el vestido. Y después de unas horas, Savanna nunca regresó a su casa. Y ya que parecían varias horas, su mamá, Norberta, was very worried.
Well, I mean, like, if she's just trying a dress, she shouldn't, you know, take that long. You know, maybe an hour and a half, like small talk. Like, you know, a lo mejor la invitó a un café type of thing, you know?
O la plática estaba buena.
Or like, you know, how te vas despidiendo y te vas despidiendo y
oh my gosh, yes. My mom's an expert in that.
Yeah, you never really get out the door.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like a whole afternoon is a bit much.
Yeah, I agree. Like it's como te digo, 1-2 horas, okay, pero ya varias horas, something's up. Entonces, Norberta va al apartamento de Brooke and she asks her if everything is okay, if, you know, Savanna is still there.
Pero Norberta se sorprende a saber que Savanna ya no está ahí with Brooke. Y Brooke le dice que Savanna ya se había ido hace horas.
Y a escuchar esto, you know, Norberta tries not to panic, like maybe Savanna went to run some errands or something came up. Pero cuando ella le habla a Savanna, she gets no answer. Ni de llamada, ni de mensaje. There's no response from Savanna.
And slowly she starts to realize that Savanna's belongings were all left, like su cartera, su celular, sus llaves, and her car is there. So it just didn't make sense that, you know, Savanna would just vanish without her essentials. You know, she was just gone for like a dress try-on type of thing.
And it's like one, like, si ahí está su carro, entonces no se lo llevó.
Yeah.
Right? Y si vino, vamos a decir, su pareja, you would kind of imagine that she would run back in to get her cell phone to then leave and do the errands, you know?
And it's like, she's just upstairs. Like, she doesn't have to walk any distance, really, to get to her house again.
Yeah, or like just peep her head. I'll be right back. Entonces, I think that whole reality was setting in, and also the fact, you know, that she's pregnant. Like, that's really scary. Entonces, Norberta had her mother gut telling her that something was wrong. And she wasted no time y fue a la policía para reportarla desaparecida. And of course, Norberta did tell police that Savanna was last seen in the couple's apartment upstairs.
La policía habló con la pareja, pero ellos dos dijeron que Savanna se había ido después de, you know, trying on the dress.
But even after police checked the couple out, Norberta insisted that something did not seem right. And she said, and we quote, "More needs to be done. I begged them from the beginning, from the minute I called them. I pleaded with them, there's something wrong and you've got to do this now." That gut feeling is telling her.
Yeah. I mean, she's pregnant, you know, and where could she have gone? Like, it's only upstairs.
Ugh, that's great. Me da escalofríos escuchar eso, like just upstairs. Like the fact that you were downstairs. I don't know. Y'all know what I mean.
Yes. So, el 19 de agosto, the police searched the couple's apartment a total of 3 times, but every time they came out empty-handed.
But, you know, after a while, the Fargo Police Department, they start feeling the same thing Norberta's feeling. Like, they kind of feel like something is off with this couple. Y entonces, el Fargo Police Chief, David Todd, says that they were watching very closely because they believed that Savanna was being held against her will in the couple's apartment.
And not only that, but they also believed that her unborn child was removed and possibly alive.
They deeply believed that the unborn baby could have been the motive for all of this. Pero no tenían nada contra la pareja, nada de evidencia. So they kind of just kept a close eye on the couple to see if like they could pin them with anything or anything. And on August 23rd, a few days later, William, which is Brooke's boyfriend or partner, he was talking to a coworker, and so that coworker spoke to investigators y dijo que William estaba hablando y que él, you know, was saying a story about como él tenía un bebé en la casa o hizo un comentario along those lines.
Yeah, like point is, it seems like he's saying that there's a baby, right? And that was just like the red flags for the coworker to speak up. And it just didn't make sense porque Brooke was never pregnant. So where's this baby coming from, you know?
Yeah.
And so investigators found this very suspicious, and they kind of already were, you know, looking into this couple. So it's like, you know.
La banderita roja. So yeah, like como está diciendo Steph, Brooke wasn't pregnant, but who was pregnant? Savanna was pregnant. And she was last seen at their apartment. Y ahora William está hablando de que ellos tienen un bebé en casa.
At this point, it's not hard to piece things together. Y por esta razón, los investigadores obtuvieron una orden de allanamiento, and once again, they searched the couple's apartment.
On August 24, Fargo police found a newborn baby girl alive in the couple's apartment.
La bebé fue llevada de emergencia al hospital, y el 11 de septiembre fue confirmado que ese bebé era la bebé de Savanna.
La bebé pesaba nomás 4 libras y 13 onzas. Y ella estaba sanita, que era lo bueno a pesar de todo lo que había pasado.
And of course, a encontrar al bebé, Brooke and William were both arrested y allí confesaron todo.
Al principio, though, Brooke les dijo a los investigadores que Savanna had asked her for help on how to induce early childbirth that same day that she disappeared. Like the day that she went upstairs, apparently that's what she asked her. Y que a los 2 días de haberle preguntado esto, Savanna apareció en su puerta con la niña y ahí se la dejó.
Obviously, this is a lie, right? Like, it's just like that. I'm sure the investigators did not believe it as they were hearing it, you know? And when she was pressed about it, Brooke finally said the whole truth. She said she offered Savanna $20 to model a dress she was making.
Y después dice que she led Savanna into her bathroom y que ahí es donde ella la empujó para que la cabeza de Savanna pegara contra el sink, and that's when Savanna became unconscious.
Okay, so now it gets a bit graphic, so a quick trigger warning for y'all. And so when Savanna was unconscious, Brooke said that she picked up a carpenter's knife and slashed open her belly and pulled out her baby.
Oh my God. Like, what?
In a matter of like minutes.
Yeah, or even seconds, really. But it's just like, I know I said this before, but like, how does someone just wake up and say, I'm gonna do this? Or like, how do you even
they like plan for it for a couple of days? But it's like, I don't get it. Like, do you not plan ahead even like after you commit this? Like, what happens then?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was saying. Like, do you really think you're gonna get away with it?
Yeah, like they don't think that far ahead.
They don't. I don't know. Pues eso decimos que cada cabeza es un mundo, because only in their head it makes sense. Because it's just like crazy. Like, how do you even think about pulling a baby out?
Yeah, and the crazy thing is that this isn't the first case we hear this happened.
That is true.
Like Marlene Ochoa Lopez.
Yeah.
Like the same thing. They pulled her baby out.
If y'all haven't heard that case, it's in there. It's kind of one of like middle-ish. So, but yeah, it's also a really tragic case.
And so William, on the other hand, was denying knowing anything of Brooke's plan.
Yeah, él dice que él luego llegó a la casa y que Brooke lo llamó desde el baño y que allí le preguntó por ayuda. And once he was inside the bathroom, that's when he saw Savanna's body there.
And at this point, Savanna was still alive, and that's when Brooke told William to help her finish, and William went ahead and helped strangle Savanna with a rope.
Both Brooke and William were sentenced to life in prison. Brooke is currently serving a life sentence without parole, and she said, and we quote, "I am guilty and I deserve every year I get. I just wanted them to know that I am sorry for what I did," end quote. And although William was originally sentenced to life in prison, he successfully appealed the sentence, and he is now only serving 20 years in prison.
I want to know what y'all think about that, because like he is in his 40s, and that means 20 years in prison, so he'll be out in his 60s. So I'm kind of curious to see what y'all think. Was it right for him to get his sentence appealed, or is he, you know, obviously he's guilty, but do you think he deserves more time? I'm curious to know. Yeah,
like, is he just as guilty as Brooke? I mean, because at the end of the day, even if, he didn't plan it, he still helped kill Savanna. Like, he could have stopped it, or he could have helped her, but he decided to side with Brooke and, kill her.
I mean, this story is so tragic. Savanna didn't deserve this. Her partner didn't deserve this. Her baby didn't deserve this. It's just also brutal. And Savanna's mom says, and we quote, "I get so upset and angry and can't understand how or why these people could have taken my girl from me, from us. The pain of losing a child is like no other pain. I now know that pain. My heart is literally broken," end quote.
It's sad.
Yeah.
It's really sad. Like, como dijiste, ella perdió su hija, la pareja perdió su pareja, and the baby, she lost her mom.
Yeah.
It's sad. Pero lo bueno es que la bebé sobrevivió, and she was reunited with her father, Ashton. And there's actually a picture of him like holding the baby while they're in court, and he's just bawling his eyes out. Imagine, like, it's a tough situation to be in, you know, like, here you are planning ahead with your partner for your new baby, y de repente perderla. It must be really...
And in such a, like, brutal way.
Yeah, también, yeah. But, you know, he does say that even though he is forever heartbroken that he lost Savanna, he is forever happy to have his daughter with him. And he picked his daughter's name, and her daughter is Hazley Jo. It's a beautiful name.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful name. I mean, it's such a tragic story, but, you know, like, he has his daughter and he has his partner Savanna watching over them.
At least, yeah. And I don't know, like, this case hace que se me enchine el cuero, because it just happened upstairs. Like, you know, like, imagine just knowing that your daughter was murdered right upstairs from where you were.
And you had no idea.
Sin idea.
And like hearing these quotes, it's like my heart physically hurts reading this, you know?
Y es que como siempre decimos también, like, yeah, these are true crime cases, but we have to remember that this is a real person que tenía una familia. So it's like, even though here we are listening to Savanna's case, we're only going to be here for like this amount of time, you know? But like her partner and her daughter and her parents are always going to live with this event in their life, you know? So that makes it like even sadder, and it makes it super real, you know, like, I don't know. Okay, now I'm just ranting, y'all.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's crazy because like para nosotros son like historias, but we have to look beyond that. Like this is a real person. Savanna was a real woman.
Perfectly said.
Yeah, that's what we have on Savanna's case. I'm just also glad that, you know, justice was served and that the people responsible for this brutal act are now doing time. And hopefully, you know, William is being honest with his words, and hopefully he finds it in his heart to become a better person if by the end of his parole, pues.
Thank you for listening. Gracias por escuchar este episodio, and we'll see you next week.
Also, y'all, don't forget reviews. We appreciate them. So, yeah. All right. We'll see y'all next week.
Thank you.